Now, this week, the internal wrangling within the Labour Party took a turn for the worse. 7 members of the party's National Working Committee announced the appointment of the National Vice Chairman, Lamidi Bashiri Apapa, as acting National Chairman. The development follows the invasion of the National Secretariat by a faction of the party on Thursday. A group of party loyalists, aided by regular police men, stormed the party's National Secretariat located at Otako to take control of the structure. In his maiden address, Apapa said his appointment was part of the outcome of an emergency meeting of the NWC, which was sequel to the judgment of the Federal Capital Territory High Court. The court had restrained Julius Abure from parading himself as the national chairman of the party. I still have with me in the studio Justice Sojeno and lawyer and a public analyst via Zoom, Olainka Daniels. Let me come to you. What do you think is happening within Labour Party? Do you think this is all politics?
Okay, I just feel that it's a test. It's a test for how strong the party is and how strong what possibly the party can actually withstand. And I feel that if it can actually go through this and survive it, it's going to be better for it. And I say it against the backdrop of the fact that it is not unique to it. PDP too had such wranglings both during this electioneering period and the previous electioneering periods. The only exception to this kind of wranglings most times is the party in power. And it is usually because there is a known, unquestioned head of the party. For example, the leader of the APC is President Muhammadu Buhari. And for the subnationals to the states, it's usually the governors. Of course, the exception, we can find a few exceptions to that, and is, for example, the government of Edo State, where we know that, okay, it cannot be, it's being supported by Wike. But for that scenario, it is usual. Every political party is going to be tested. But for me, what I think is unfortunate is the fact that in our Nigerian political party marketplace, we have too much interventions of the court, sometimes rightfully, sometimes wrongfully. Sometimes we see interim injunctions flying around. For example, during this LP situation, there was a judgment of an Edo State High Court saying that Abure remains the chairman. There's another judgment from Abuja saying that he shouldn't parade himself as the chairman, even though both judgments are in the interim, and it's something that we should keep emphasizing there in the interim. So after hearing both parties, the courts will be able to enjoy more facts, to be able to give a more balanced decision. So aside that, I feel that it is what political parties go through. Every political party will be tested, and if they can survive this, like I earlier said, they will be the better for it. So I just feel let it all go ahead, even though it's ugly. It's ugly, and this shouldn't be the way it should. This is not the way it ought to be at all in a very sane climate.
What do you also make of the fact that Abure is saying that the whole thing is illegitimate and as well a plot by the APC to destabilize the party? The whole back and forth.
No, that's politics. That's politics. I don't expect him to say otherwise. He's got to say it's either the fifth columnist within or the fifth columnist without that are actually making him go through everything that he's going through. I see APC too saying the same thing. I see the PDP too saying the same thing. So it's just the nature of politics. But at the end of the day, it's my hope and belief that the courts will be able to sit down on it and actually go through all the facts and come to a conclusion as to whether he is the legitimate chairman of the political party or not.
All right, let me come to you now, Olainka Daniels. Are you there?
I can hear you.
All right, so what would you say the implication of this? What implication do you think this will have on the party structure and cohesion?
Well, unfortunately, politicians will always be politicians. when it comes to politics, we've seen in many cases, in fact, some even went so bad that some of the judges involved in such barbaric situation were sanctions and they were punished for it. You know, you see politicians going to the same court of coordinates jurisdiction for the same matter. This same party went to Abuja for the same matter. They went to the same high court in Abuja. They went to another high court in Benin. Once a particular judgment does not favor a politician, you see them taking the same matter to another court. Then the other court, they will say, oh, well, his bias is this. And when they get judgment in their own favor, you hear, oh, yes, democracy is working. And you see, this is what you get from politicians. Now, for Labour Party didn't just start today. Labour Party started somewhere around 2003, if I remember vividly. I think a particular name before the name was changed to Labour Party in 2003. So it's been there. So what has just happened recently, why Labour Party has become a voice, probably because of the presidential candidate that came in to Labour Party. And the issues they are having right now, almost all the political parties in Nigeria have gone, a number of them have gone through that, whether some are even still going through it right now. APC had their shares, PDP had one. So different political parties. So it is politics. You cannot rule out things like this happening in any political parties. Okay. There will be factions, there will be disagreement, but then I think we all know the reason why we have the judiciary is for people to take whatever it is to court for redress. If there is any, you seek any redress, go to court. You cannot take laws into your hands. Now, if a court has pronounced to say, okay, a particular a person has become the acting chairman, then you then go ahead to another court, same court.
Right, we have to manage the little time we have. Mr. Olayin Kadani.